Have you ever wanted to learn how to draw but you're not sure where to start? Today I'll show you how to sketch this lighthouse, even if you're a beginner. I'll walk you through step by step, and by the end you'll have a drawing ready to paint. I always begin with tick marks and light lines. These aren't final, they're just guides to figure out the size and placement. This is like kind of a road map. The lighthouse needs to stand tall, so I mark the top first and then lightly sketch in where the house will be. Don't worry about it being perfect. In fact, you'll see me adjusting things later. That's just part of the process. Next, I turn these simple marks into shapes of the lighthouse. The lighthouse is basically a tall rectangle that narrows towards the top. I sketch it loosely first, then add the lantern room. If your lines feel crooked, that's fine. You can always adjust them. The nice part with sketching is it doesn't have to be perfect. No straight edge, anything like that. You just work it in until you get the drawing the way you like. Now it doesn't look like much yet, but once we add the house and the winding path, the whole scene will start to come alive. Next I draw the little house attached to the lighthouse. Simple roof, windows, and door. As you could see, now this lighthouse and the little house next to it is actually starting to take shape. So adding some bushes, some shrubbery, and the bottom base of the lighthouse. And again, right now, because this is still a sketch, it doesn't have to be perfect, but at least you start getting in the shapes, so once you get them down, you can start refining them. Sometimes working with a drawing is like working with a big clump of clay. You start working it in, getting the shapes the way you want, and then you start refining them afterwards. I really enjoy drawing. For me, it's one of the most enjoyable art forms. This is a preliminary drawing for the paint that's going to go on afterwards. The nice thing about drawing is all you need is a pencil or a crayon and a piece of paper. In this case, we're using charcoal on canvas. Just refining the shape a little bit, adding a few more details, and again, still nothing major. These little details can help you get your perspective correct. So the lines on the top that go left to right are curved upwards. This way it makes it look like you're actually looking up at the lighthouse. We're coming to the point where you can start refining your drawing. And this is pretty simple. Sometimes just a little bit more pressure on the lines to make them more refined. And using a simple kneaded eraser will help lift or erase the lines that you don't want. Notice how the path adds depth. Even if your house looks boxy right now, don't stress. It's just a framework. Wait until we add the trees in the background. You'll see the whole composition open up. Now let's bring in the background. I sketch a few trees, some bushes, and some marks for texture. Nothing fancy, just suggestions. This step really makes it start to feel like a real place. It's amazing what a few trees will do to your picture. Right here we're doing a few little bushes in front of the house, kind of like a flower bed. And again, it's just roughing them in. Not seeing much detail here at all. I have some flowers up here in the front, and we're just using a little squiggly line back and forth to actually make it look like flowers. We're going to put a big tree right through here. Okay, it doesn't really look like a tree yet, but you'll see it come to life. For the branches and the leaves, all we're doing is little squiggly bubbles. It's just meant to be more of an impression of a tree as opposed to detailed. Very simple. This is where charcoal shines. I darken key lines, add shading, and then soften things with a kneaded eraser. Watch how I could pull out highlights or erase mistakes without smudging everything. Beginners often think that erasing is a failure, but it's actually part of the process. And now you'll see why I said this sketch is just the beginning. It's about to turn into a painting. And here's the finished sketch. It's not perfect, but it's exactly what I need to create a painting from it. If you want to see how I turn this drawing into a glowing seascape with a lighthouse at sunset, I've linked the video right here. Thanks for drawing with me. Now grab some charcoal and try it yourself.